Arjun's life in 2020 was a jumble of dreams and denial. At 22, he was a middle-class boy whose aspirations went much further than his humble salary. He worked at a small digital marketing firm, juggling tight deadlines and tighter salaries. But if you saw him, you'd never be able to guess his strife. He had the latest iPhone 12, wore designer clothes, and clicked pictures at cafes that charged more for a cappuccino than he spent on weekly groceries. To his friends, he was successful. To strangers on Instagram, desirable; to himself, restless. His girlfriend, Tanya, would always give him advice. Arjun, appearances don't matter as much as you think. Why buy things you can't afford? Why repeat the same mistakes time and again? But Arjun only grinned, brushing away her concerns. Don't worry, Tanya, I've got this. Everyone struggles in their 20s. This is just how life is. But deep down, he knew she was right. This wasn't living, it was escaping. Every time he promised himself he'd curtail his spending, temptation raised its ugly head. Online shopping binges, impulse gadgets, midnight poker games with friends. He repeated the same cycle of regret again and again. It was the same tale each time. He'd regret it once he lost, vow never to do it again. But the moment boredom or stress hit, he fell back. It was as if his willpower was permeable, and regret seeped through. Then came November. The pandemic had already made life a risk, his salary halved. Tanya remained with him loyally, even when his habits irritated her. But one night, as he scrolled through his glowing iPhone, a message popped up. Poker night, big jackpot tonight. His heart raced, Arjun wavered. He knew the truth. He could not afford to lose another mistake. Rent was overdue, bills were overdue. Tanya's birthday was around the corner, and he had promised himself he would save up for something special this time. Yet the temptation was more powerful than reason. Just one more time, he said to himself, becoming part of the game. By dawn, his account was empty. The rent money vanished. The little savings he had kept for Tanya's gift, lost in a matter of hours. The guilt that consumed him was suffocating, but worse was the call that followed. Arjun? Tanya's voice trembled, but it was not anger, it was exhaustion. How many times do you need to do this? You know it is wrong, and yet you continue to do it. I cannot live my life waiting for you to change when you don't even try. Until you do, I have to walk away. The line went dead, and so did something inside him. Arjun walked around like a ghost for days. His iPhone, which had been his pride, now taunted him. Each item he had purchased on credit seemed like a shackle holding him to the errors he had made by choice. He replayed the words of Tanya in his mind over and over, understanding that she did not leave him for money. She left him because he was not willing to mature. He sat in the balcony of his tiny apartment late one evening, the muffled sounds of the city reaching him through the quiet. He reflected on all the turning points in his life and how he had taken the wrong path despite knowing what was right. It had never been ignorance, just weakness. And then it struck him with burning lucidity. The biggest tragedy in his life wasn't the death of Tanya or riches. The true tragedy was that he knew the things he was doing were wrong, and yet he still kept doing them. Then he whispered the words he wished he had learned earlier. The real wisdom is not doing the things we already know are wrong. It was too late to change the past, but perhaps not too late to change the future. For the first time, Arjun realized regret would never leave him until he stopped giving it reasons to stick around.